talk to you about the appointments that come with getting weight loss surgery. Like, more appointments than I've ever had for anything in my life. Um, it can be a little overwhelming, but it's up to you to keep up with these things. I guess I'm lucky. The company, the group that I'm with, actually had a scheduler, a nurse scheduler that would schedule these appointments and call me and let me know. So they would, basically, if you would complete one thing, then you could move on to the next one. So that made it easy. That made it a lot easier. So this process with my current insurance started back in October of 2018. That is when I went to the general information session. Those are free. They have them once a month at a conference room in my local hospital. Basically, a surgeon met with us and he explained the procedures that they do there and the benefits and consequences of getting specific procedures. He answered questions for us. So he basically, educated us on the procedures and, what might be the best procedure for us. So that was very helpful. That was very helpful for him to donate his time to do that. So the next thing that I did was I wrote this all down because there's no way I would ever remember it. So I met with the registered dietitian in a general information session twice. Yeah. So the first one I went to, we just talked about diet currently and like what a healthy plate should look like. And then the second one I went to got more into the post-op diet, and we were assigned homework. We were assigned a series of videos called the Mind Prep series, and it's done by a clinical psychologist who talks about, psychological issues that people might have with food and problems that you might encounter post-surgery. And it basically just stresses the importance of taking care of your mental health and your psychological issues with food before you get surgery. So I appreciated that. So they gave us a quiz on that. I'm sorry, rewind a little bit. It was a series of 6 videos. Each video was like half an hour, so you couldn't just like breeze through it. And the questions were about each video, so we had to complete the quiz for that online, and then those results got sent to the registered dietitian. I'll talk a little bit more about my one-on-one visit with the registered dietitian in a little bit. I'm trying to do this in order. So the day after I met with the dietitian, right? I think there's a moth. I'm weird. Okay, so the day after I met with the dietitian, I went to a lab and got blood work done. They probably took like 4 vials of blood from me. I hate needles, and I'm a big baby, but luckily my tech she was good at what she did, so kudos to her. During this procedure, they tested me for diabetes. Yay, I don't have it. Tested my vitamin levels. I'm low in vitamin D. So I had to get a prescription from my family doctor for vitamin D. Okay. Let's see here. They also tested me for the H. pylori bacteria. It's a bacteria that makes you more susceptible to getting stomach ulcers post-surgery. So if you do have that, they give you antibiotics and then you're fine. So that's not a huge deal. So the next appointment I met with my surgeon for the first time, and he talked to me about the procedure he thought was best for me, which was the sleeve. And, I asked him questions, I weighed other procedures, and, I trust him. He insisted on the sleeve for me. He feels like that would be the best procedure, and I trust him with his medical opinion. Sorry, I have the hiccups. Okay, so after I met with the surgeon, I went and had an EKG done because everybody had to have one done. I don't have any pre-existing heart issues or anything like that. Just everybody has to get one. I went and got a chest x-ray, something else that everybody has to do, And then I met with the pulmonologist, and we talked a little bit about my sleeping, and, I've been single most of my adult life, but I've had roommates. So, I've had roommates that have told me that I snored, but I don't know. I don't know, I might snore. So, I was recording myself, and I did find out that I snore. There's an app called Snore App, and you can record yourself snoring, so it's interesting. But I didn't hear myself gasping for air or anything like that, so I figured it was fine. Well, after being examined by this doctor, he informs me that my upper respiratory tract looks congested. And I'm over here thinking, okay, I need allergy meds? Like, what? Congested? Okay. And then I expressed to him that I have headaches when I wake up in the morning, which is true. Sometimes I have really bad migraines when I wake up in the morning. And that, walking up 3 flights of stairs makes me tired. And I'll huff and puff and wheeze. I live on the 3rd floor, and I huff and puff and wheeze when I carry groceries up the steps. So, to be on the safe side, he decided to sign me up for a home sleep study. I'm so glad that I got to do a home sleep study, and I got the specific one that I had, the one that I had because it was simple. I've seen other people online doing home sleep studies, and it's very complicated. There's a lot of wires and contraptions, and I would be very intimidated by all of that. Mine was super simple, and I got to sleep in my own bed. There's no way I'd be sleeping in some other bed with people watching me all night. How's that gonna help me sleep? So here I go looking at this paper again. I met with the pulmonologist again for a spirometry test. You basically blow into a tube, and it was really difficult for me to do, only because it wasn't the inhaling, it was the continued exhale. I was explaining to her, there's nothing more in my lungs to exhale. She's like, there is, I promise there is. And I'm like, luckily there isn't anything wrong with me, but I'm not really sure if, it's supposed to be that hard. It was just hard for me to exhale that much. So my meeting after that, rewind. I have sleep apnea. So I have an appointment actually this Friday to go get my CPAP machine. I'm very sad about it. It is what it is. So I then met with the cardiologist. I went before work. I was in and out in 15 minutes. I don't have any cardiac problems, thank God. So yeah, that was easy breezy right there. I then had my one-on-one consult with the dietitian. So this is a big appointment in this process. For me, I had to come with my completed homework, which included like the questions from the videos, and it also included some sample menus. And it was a sample, how do I explain? It was a daily sample menu of what your diet would look like in every stage of post-op. So you go from like full liquids, clear liquids, the full liquids, to pureed foods, soft foods, and yada, yada, yada. So I had to do all that. And she was very pleased with the variety I put in mine, and I put a lot of time into it. I did. I tried to make it as realistic as possible, like things that I would actually eat. Let's see here. All right. My test after that, the next one, was a nicotine test. So if you are a smoker, you have to quit smoking, or else they will not operate on you. I don't know all the reasons, but I know one of the reasons is that it makes surgery more complicated or more risky. So they test everyone for nicotine, even if you have never been a smoker, such as myself. Never been a smoker. Got a nicotine test. So that's another vial of blood. And then I get my CPAP this Friday. I'm actually really excited about it now that I think about it, because I'm tired all the time. And it's like I try to sleep and I try to take naps and I never feel better. Like I'm always exhausted. So I really look forward to getting the CPAP and getting like a good night's rest. Apparently I stopped breathing like 20 times in an hour. That's only moderate. That's scary. It's really scary. Sleep apnea can kill you. Okay, so get treated, get tested. So I'll be using my CPAP until July 2nd, and that is when I meet with the pulmonologist again, just to give them an update on how I'm doing. I'm going to have an auto CPAP, so it automatically adjusts the level of air that I need, so I don't have to have additional testing done, so that they can preset the setting. So that saves a step. Auto CPAPs are a little bit more though. So I should be getting a call any day now, with a tentative surgery date. So I'm excited about that. And this has been a process. You know, I went into this, my head held high and very proud. I was like, oh, I'm healthy. Nothing wrong with me. I'm young. I'm healthy. No. This was a humbling experience. Me having sleep apnea really hit home with me. I don't want to die in my sleep. So I'm really grateful that at least if I don't get any further with this process, that at least I got that taken care of. But I do plan on going further with this process. Just waiting on a surgery date. When I find out, I'll let you know. Thanks.